What's up, fight fans? This is Saf from Global Fight Talk, and I'm here being joined by the first woman to ever get a victory inside Triad Combat, Alexa Culp. How are you doing today?
Good. I'm just happy to be here. Excited.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we did an interview right after the fight. I thought it was a great interview. You were so excited about your knockout. You were exuberant. You were candid. It was awesome, but unfortunately, my mic wasn't plugged in, so I do apologize for that.
Oh, it's
Now
all
we're
good.
good, good. We're gonna redo it now. So yeah, like I said, first woman to ever get a victory in Triad. How does that feel? How does that sound to you?
It's kind of crazy. It's still, I don't know. I know everybody was saying it after the fight and it just didn't hit. But now I'm kind of like, dang, like that was really cool to get to do. And I didn't even think about like going into the fight. That wasn't a thought of like, oh, I could be the first female in this to do that. Like, so it's kind of a bonus of excitement afterwards.
That's awesome. And how did you feel about the rules? I mean, obviously that was the first event of Triad, so everything was brand new for you, the coaches, and even the referees. How did you feel about the triangular ring and the hybrid rules that they
Yeah.
implement?
Yeah. No, I enjoyed it. I know a lot of people are um kind of giving them a lot of crap because they weren't super hybrid because they did take a lot away from the MMA side. Uh, but I mean, the things that they took away would have given it like I feel like they almost would have been no questions asked.
Right.
MMA would have completely ran through everybody. So I understood it, especially from like a competitive and business point, and I was just excited to do something new. The triangle, I knew it was going to be a small triangle, but I didn't know how small. And then even when people gave me like the dimensions closer to the fight, I was like, okay, that's cool. Like, we'll be close. I get it. And then we got in there and I was like, I could like skip over this.
Right.
I could
Yeah,
do
when I
two
got to the
steps.
venue and I saw it and I was like, that's the ring? Like it
Yeah.
even they talked about it in the articles. They did the little preview video about how small it was, but if you're not there, you just don't know how small that ring is. It's incredibly small.
Yeah. And then they had those big boys in there.
Oh yeah.
That was
That's
crazy.
that's the first thing I thought. I'm like, okay, Frank Mir can't take two side steps in this ring.
No.
There's no way. Um but yeah, you got a job done. You did great. You looked like you were very very comfortable in there. You can tell that that's kind of your style to put pressure and come forward. I remember I asked you after the fight if that was your game plan to put a lot of pressure on her, but you said that your game plan was really just to let your hands go. Is that something that you struggled in your past fights, or something that you've been working on recently?
Yeah. My hands have definitely been getting I've been getting more comfortable using my hands. I just tend to like everybody like tells me that I just try to car crash with people. Like I look for a fight, and
Mm-hmm.
our coach always says you don't have to look for a fight. You're already there. So you
Right.
don't need to cause anything else. So my main focus was to stay like as controlled as possible and give purpose to everything that I did, which I was able to do, which was super satisfying, super nice.
Awesome. How big is that to get such a, I mean, such a nice result? I mean, something such a dominant result from something that you've been training so long.
Super it was super like relieving because I knew what was expected of me going into that fight, not just from my coaches or my teammates, but of like from myself. And it was really nice to like sit back after and go, okay, like I put in all the time and all the extra reps, and not to necessarily win that fight. I was very confident in winning that fight, but to win that fight in the way that I did uh, was the main. That was the real win for me.
Awesome. And speaking of your real win, I know you had Rampage in your side. You were representing Team MMA. It was Team MMA versus Team Boxing in the Triad format. How much did you take pride in representing Team MMA over just going in there to try to get a W?
It was funny because at first I was like, oh, cool, like we'll be on teams, it'll be not like because I love like the team atmosphere and like the energy that you get
Hmm.
from it. But I was like, I don't know. It really does depend on like who's on the team, I guess.
Right.
And so like when we showed up, I was like, everybody's in their own hotel room. We're all couldn't wait by ourselves, and like whatever. But we ended up like we got together a few times and talked over game plans and did some extra practices together, and it ended up kind of being a game changer in a way,
Mm-hmm.
for like the energy the whole week, where I didn't feel, it was weird, like I didn't feel alone because it was just my boyfriend and I in Texas up
Mm-hmm.
until weigh-in day. And so if we needed something, we kind of could reach out to somebody. And then the night of the fight, I was like, again, it's kind of it's an individual sport, but a team sport in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And so to actually have a team there in Texas, I did let myself feel the hype of it, of like, we are going to go out there and do this, and it's going to be epic and whatever. So it was cool. I didn't expect it to be as fun as it was.
That's awesome, and I know that the broadcast has something to do with that as well. They had the scoreboard up the whole time, and then you
Yeah.
have Rampage and Shannon Briggs barking at each other the entire night. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Did you learn anything specific from Rampage, from talking to him, maybe training purposes?
I'll be honest, we just kind of talk shit the whole time to each other. Because I'll start going with somebody, and he loves talking shit. So it was usually, and I keep it pretty light on fight week. I don't try to overanalyze or whatever. If I like had extra time, like the day after the fight, I might have, I would have started like breaking down techniques and stuff like that. But I kept it pretty lighthearted and just, I don't know. I kind of just made fun of him the whole time.
Yeah, that's his personality. He is hilarious. I had a really, really good interview with him. So you get the win, you get the first round knockout, dominator. It's not even close. I saw after you knock her down, you kind of looked like you were struggling to figure out what to do next. Like you went to the wrong corner a little bit. Yeah. You kind of wanted the ground and pound. What was going through your mind there?
It was, as soon as she dropped, I know I hit her a couple times, and the ref yelled at me, and I was like, oh yeah, my bad. Because I was like, please don't DQ me, because they were so serious in the back. Oh, yeah. And I was like, okay. And then I'm also not used to like being reset. And so there was like a 2-second brain lag where I followed her to her corner, and the ref had to yell at me again. And I was like, okay, but I was like, I don't know. It's an aggressive moment. So I was like, who are you going to stop me? You better like really stop me. So, but yeah. I circled back around, and I was like, okay, I think I wait here. They didn't tell me if I have to go back to my corner. So I'm going to stand right in front of her until he moves.
Yeah, it looked like that's what you were getting ready to do. Thank God he let you know to go back to your corner, or else you might have got a point deducted or anything. But so she didn't answer the count, and thank God she didn't. She was obviously done there. You did a great job. You switched stances in the middle of your combos. You're a switch hitter out there?
Yeah. My corner did not want me to switch. That was the one thing that I was supposed to focus on, and whatever. I'll work on it. Everything else I nailed, but afterwards, that was the first thing he said. He was like, cool win, you switch stances.
Why is it that they don't want you to switch stances? Is this something you just do naturally?
I do it naturally, so it's kind of a subconscious, and I know that I'm doing it, but and I'm getting a lot better at it now. But before, leading up to that fight, I'd be sparring, and I would just be like, oh, I'm going to switch stances. And they're like, well, why'd you switch stances? And I was like, because I wanted to. And they're like, that makes no technical sense. Don't do that ever again anymore. And I was like, okay. And then we got to the fight. And once I got her into the corner, I was like, I'm just going to start switching.
That's awesome. Okay. So, you got the bonus, which was I thought you deserved for sure. Probably the most dominant performance of the night. I did see that you posted on Instagram that you were planning on doing something special with that bonus money, and Triller was going to help you out. You want to go and let the fans know what you got going on with that?
Oh, I so wish I could tell all the details. I so wish I could do that on your podcast, but I can't just yet. It is, okay. I am reaching out to, I can't say that, I'm reaching out to foster teen organizations locally. because I am one specifically for teens that are in the system. So I'm going to be meeting with more of them to figure out really what assistance that they need, because I already have my own personal experience to where the system lags for them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I already have all of my own ideas and plans and all these things. But before I pull the trigger just to put the final details on, I want to talk to as many teens. And thankfully there's teen centers where they all go after school, to kind of hang out and get help with homework and help with finding jobs and all these things. So I'm going to go there next week and have a kind of like a meeting or a sit
Mm-hmm.
down. I'm just going to have a conversation, whatever they want to call it,
Right.
with these teens, and kind of ask them like, hey, what is the biggest thing that you guys need? Whether it's like help with interviews and like confidence building in interviews, or if it's finding housing and furnishing your housing, because there's things that the system will qualify and like they'll cut it off at this is what they need, and we're not
Mm-hmm.
going to give anything else, nothing more, and definitely less if they don't ask for it.
Right.
So, but like if you get your own place and the government goes, oh well, we helped you pay like the first 3 months and now you've got this, and that's cool, that's great, but like maybe they don't even have a bed, maybe they don't have a couch, maybe they have 2 plates, and like that's, after you
Not a
get through
good
the
situation
system,
to be
that
in.
doesn't, yeah, you don't feel like you've made any progress at that point. So I want to get really in detail with them and start making those plans, but I want them to be able to like, I want them to use me to make their support, if that makes
Right.
sense.
Yes, ma'am. No, 100%. And that's so awesome. I definitely applaud you for that, especially
Thank
somebody
you.
so young in her career and young in her life to have such a impactful goal and to be putting that in motion already. I can't pat you on the back enough for that. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
So you're using some of the bonus money, and Triller is matching that.
Yeah, it's crazy. I didn't even expect to get the bonus, honestly. And then once they gave it to me, he matched it, which in my mind just means that we can do, there's so much. It's almost
Yeah,
endless the amount of support we can start giving at this point once I can get everything up and running.
that's awesome. I hope that you get the ball rolling soon on
Oh,
that.
thank you. Thank you.
Um, so do you have any fight news coming up? You got anything in the works, or maybe returning to Invicta or another Triad event?
Yes, I wanted and planned to be on the Invicta that's happening next week, but it didn't happen, and that's okay because everything goes how it's supposed to.
Mhm.
And I still would have loved to have been on it, but I ended up getting COVID and then getting into a wreck, and like it would have been
Oh no.
and it's everything's good, everybody's fine.
Okay. Okay.
but uh but one of my teammates was like, this is a blessing in disguise for sure, because I was kind of uh, I don't know, I was just, you get frustrated when you were excited to do something and you're still putting yourself through some form of a camp to be ready, and then you get closer and you can just kind of feel that you're like, nothing's going anywhere.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
it was in, everything happens for a reason.
Right.
So
Yeah, there's a
yeah.
definitely a hidden blessing somewhere in there. Just wait for it to come out and show itself. Um, so I also asked you in our first interview if you felt like you had a home in Triad, a new home in Triad, as far
Yeah.
as, your career. So you kind of like iffy about it. Obviously, we just talked about you returning to Invicta. What are the odds that if Triad calls you tomorrow, that you answer that call and you're like, let's do it for sure?
100%. I've already I've already talked to him actually like
Mhm,
right after, not right after the fight, but like
mhm,
after I got through the interviews and I was watching everything, and I let my like everything else kind of chill, and I was talking to a few people out there, and then they said that they would have a card in February, which I
mhm,
cannot say because they've dropped it. And
mhm.
I said I do want to be on that one, so I'm hoping to get a call and a match for that
That's
as soon.
awesome. I
I'm
hope you on
already
it.
keeping myself training for it, so I just need the phone call.
That's awesome. I hope you're on that too. I think the main event for that's supposed to be Junior Dos Santos and Kubrat, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's an awesome
it's gonna be
matchup.
a good one.
Yeah. Um, so if you don't get the call from Triad, hopefully you do. You'll still be around MMA and trying to build your career there. So overall, what are your goals in MMA as a fighter though? Like, are you trying to get a bunch of cash so you can support your goals, your organization, or are you trying to leave a legacy? You want to be a world champion? What's your goals in the sport of MMA?
Oh, it's always been to just like really create a platform for foster kids and teens. That's why I started, and it's the biggest goal I've got with it. Obviously, I want to take it as far as I can,
Right.
but that again, I want to take it as far as I can because I know that's going to get a bigger platform, meaning I can reach more people who either need the help or who are able to help who need it. So I want to use that as a tool for sure.
That's awesome.
But other than, I don't know. I think about being a world champion and everybody's like, oh, that'd be awesome. And if we get there, we get there. But I'm a realistic goal focused at the time. And
Right.
I can't be world champion tomorrow. So
That's true. And what your 3 fights in, right?
yeah, for
Yeah,
MMA. Yep.
get like 4 or 5 more fights. We'll see how you feel
Right.
then. We'll see if you
Right.
don't want to be a world champion then.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so last question. I don't want to take too much of your time. Can you drop a couple of your favorite fighters right now?
Rose Namajunas? What? Girl.
Okay.
Her and Shevchenko are, and that's not just because like they're at the top.
Yeah.
Like it's been that way literally forever. You can ask any of my family members. That's just some crazy. That's some crazy. In a sense, like I guess this is society and whatever would
Mm-hmm.
call it girl power, but
Mm-hmm.
that's just straight up like human power where they are not in your face. Like there's no drama to them.
No.
They're simply working as hard as they humanly can and going out there and doing what they love. And that's exactly kind of how I want to take this.
That's awesome. And I saw you spend some time with Megan Anderson as well. Are y'all training partners or good friends?
Yeah. Yes. So I would definitely, if you would have been like, which fighter? For sure. She's definitely like family and friend category in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
Where to me she's more than like just a fighter because I've seen her personal life
Mm-hmm.
and everything. I know like all the work that she's doing for herself, which is I'm always proud of her for doing that.
Oh, she's so
And
awesome.
she's cool. She's such a she's a big mama bear for sure.
Mm-hmm.
For
Yeah.
sure. I've spent a lot of time with her, and we're actually dog sitting for her right now.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and those little puppies, they're not puppies. They're huge Rotties. But those little boys, I definitely consider them my puppies too. So I'm always excited to be there for her.
That's awesome. I could see how you could look at her as a mama bear. I mean, she's like 6 feet tall. It's like 8 inches taller than you.
There's a couple pictures on my Instagram where she's like, it started out as a hug and she's definitely picking me up. And I'm like above her waist and she's still taller than me.
Yeah, she's a monster. In a good way, of course.
Yes.
Awesome. So, is there anything else you wanted to add? Any shout outs or anything you have to give? Sponsors, family members, support systems?
Oh, hell. All my family. All my family, if you see this, it's you. But my boyfriend John really that's a huge support team. And that goes into my family.
Mm-hmm.
But so John O'Brien, thank you always. And then I've got Mikey Breeden's holding mitts for me, taking his time. He's in the UFC, and when he's training at our gym, he's constantly trying to help all of us coming up. He's been helping me and Isaac, who's also Isaac Dolgarian, who's one of my main training partners,
Mm-hmm.
who's been showing me how to be extra violent because he is nasty. He's fighting soon for FAC. It'll be on Fight Pass.
Okay.
in February. So everybody watch out for that. It's gonna be crazy. But
Definitely jot that down.
yeah, for sure. For
Okay,
sure.
so last thing, plug your socials and where everybody can find you, and where everybody should keep their ear to look forward to
Yeah.
the news.
Yes, definitely my Instagram, which is just Alexa_Culp and then .MMA. Real simple. Otherwise I'll forget. And then the same thing is for my Twitter. But I gotta be honest, I'm not popping on Twitter yet.
Me either.
I haven't. We'll get there. There's a lot to balance, but right
Yeah.
now it's really just mainly Instagram and Facebook's for the family. So no.
Awesome. Well, I sure appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Congratulations again on your victory. You're very impressive. Congratulations on the organization you're trying to build. I wish 100 blessings on that, and I hope every investor in the world reaches out to you.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you like and subscribe, everybody. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, drop a comment, tell Alexa what's up, and we'll see you guys soon. Thank you for tuning in.
Peace.